I'm 100 years old, and I did not end up in a nursing home. Not because I was lucky, not because I was stronger than everyone else, but because I refused to let my life shrink. And if you're honest, yours might already be shrinking. You go out less. You rely on people more. You postpone things that used to be easy. You tell yourself, I'll deal with it later. That's how it starts. A nursing home doesn't begin with an ambulance. It begins with small surrenders. Most people don't realize they're losing their independence until it's already gone. I watched it happen to people I loved, people who thought they had time, people who believed independence would last forever. It doesn't. It disappears quietly until one day someone else is making decisions about your life. So I made a rule for myself, a daily rule. Actually, 5 of them, 5 small habits that kept me in my own home, in my own chair, with my own name on the mailbox. And I'm going to tell them to you now, because if you wait until you need them, it will already be too late. Habit number 1. I left the house every single day, no matter what, even when I didn't feel like it, even when it hurt, even when I had nowhere important to go, because staying inside is how people disappear. It starts innocently. You skip one outing because you're tired. You cancel another because it's raining. You tell yourself you'll go tomorrow. And slowly, the world outside stops feeling like it belongs to you. Your legs weaken. Your confidence fades. Your circle gets smaller. Until one day, leaving the house feels impossible. And that's when other people start deciding things for you. I watched it happen to my neighbor, Martha. She used to walk to the corner store every morning. Then she stopped. First it was once a week, then once a month, then not at all. Within 2 years, she wasn't living in her home anymore, not because she wanted to leave, because she couldn't stay. So I made a rule. If I can stand, I go outside. Not far. Not fast, just enough to remind my body and the world that I am still here. Independence isn't something you keep by accident. You keep it by stepping outside before it's taken from you. Habit number 2, I spoke to another human being every single day, out loud, not through a screen, not a text message, not a like on a photo, a real voice, a real conversation. Because silence is where people start to fade. After my husband died, this house became unbearably quiet. No footsteps. No one asking where I put the scissors. No one complaining about the weather. Just silence. And silence can convince you that you no longer matter, that you are no longer needed, that your life is already behind you. And when you start believing that, you stop showing up in the world. So I made a rule. Every day, I had to speak to someone, the cashier, a neighbor, a stranger walking a dog, anyone. Because the day you stop being heard is the day you start becoming invisible. Loneliness doesn't just break your heart. It weakens your body. It slows your mind. It makes everything harder. And people don't end up in nursing homes only because of illness. Sometimes they end up there because there was no one left who knew their voice. So I kept mine alive, one conversation at a time. Habit number 3, I kept making my own decisions, even small ones. What time I wake up, what I eat, where I go, what I spend my money on. Because the moment you stop deciding, someone else starts deciding for you. And once that happens, it is very hard to get your life back. I saw it happen to my older brother. At first, people were just helping him, choosing things to make life easier, meals, appointments, schedules. Then they were choosing everything. He stopped being a person with a life and became a problem to manage. They moved him into a place for his own good. He didn't argue. He didn't fight, because by then, he didn't know how anymore. Independence isn't lost in one day. It's handed away one decision at a time. So I forced myself to stay responsible for my own life. even when it was inconvenient, even when it would have been easier to let someone else handle it. Because easy is seductive. Easy is how freedom disappears. If you want to stay in your own home, you have to stay the author of your life, not the passenger. Habit number 4. I prepared for the day I wouldn't be strong anymore, not because I was afraid, because I was realistic. Aging doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait until you feel ready. It takes a little strength, a little balance, a little memory, until one day you realize you can't do something you used to do without thinking. Most people pretend it won't happen. They avoid the conversation. They avoid the paperwork. They avoid the small changes that could keep them independent longer. And then one fall, one hospital visit, one bad month decides everything for them. I refused to let a crisis write the ending of my story. So while I was still strong, I made my home safer. I organized my finances. I wrote down what I wanted and what I didn't want, not because I was giving up, because I was protecting my future self. Freedom doesn't disappear only from weakness. Sometimes it disappears from lack of preparation. If you want to stay in your own home, you have to think ahead before life forces you to. Habit number 5. I made sure I was still needed. Not useful in a grand way, not important in the world, just needed by someone. Because when you feel unnecessary, you start letting go of life. You stop taking care of yourself. You stop planning ahead. You stop fighting to stay independent. I saw it happen to a man on my street. After his wife died, no one depended on him anymore. No one waited for him. No one noticed if he stayed inside all day. Within a year, he looked 20 years older. Within 2, he was gone from that house, not because his body failed first, because his purpose did. So I made a quiet promise to myself. As long as someone needs me, I will keep showing up. I read to children at the library. I send birthday cards. I water my neighbor's plants when she visits her daughter. Small things, but small things give you a reason to wake up in the morning. Independence isn't sustained by strength alone. It's sustained by purpose. Because when your life still matters to someone, you fight to stay in it. I'm 100 years old. I wake up in my own bed. I walk through my own kitchen. I sit in a chair that remembers my life. Not because I was stronger than everyone else, because I refused to disappear before my time. Independence isn't something you keep by accident. It's something you protect every single day. One walk, one conversation, one decision, one act of preparation, one reason to wake up. That's all it is. Small things, done long enough to keep your life from shrinking. One day you will be older than you are now. Your body will be slower. Your circle will be smaller. Your world will try to close in on you. And in that moment, you will either still be standing in your own home or wishing you had fought harder to stay there. So don't wait for fear to force you into action. Start protecting your independence now, while it still belongs to you. Because the nursing home doesn't begin when you move in. It begins the day you stop living like your freedom matters.